Hey, welcome everybody. We are replaying the 2016 Mets season. We were at game 88, July 10th, 2016. I think I was at this game. I believe it's on a Sunday. It is on a Sunday at Citi Field. And it's going to be Gio Gonzalez versus Steven Matz, the lefty. So I believe it is lefty versus lefty, and I am right. The Battle of the Southpaws. And Steven Matz is going to start it off and pitch to Trey Turner, the speedy center fielder, second baseman, center fielder, outfielder, infielder for the Nats. And here's the pitch. This is game 4 of a 4-game series. Say 1-8, and that's lined base hit for Turner. He's on at first. Always a threat to steal. So Matz throws over. And he does so again, and Turner is back. And there goes Turner, and he is safe at second with a stolen base. That's a ball on Worth. The pitch to Worth, it's a 1-5, and that's ball 4. So the Nats get the first two hitters on in the top of the first inning. Here's Daniel Murphy. It's a 4-11. A 4-11 is a fly ball left field X. It's a 19, probably a reroll. Our left fielder is Deaza, who's a 3. So that's going to be a roll again. 12 now. And that's going to be a line drive single, base hit. It drops in there. Around third comes Turner. And now Deaza bobbles the ball. That's going to allow Worth to go to third. And in its second is going to be Murphy. So it's a single RBI and an E7, allowing Murph to go to second. So now we got second and third. Nobody out. And it's going to be Bryce Harper. And it's a 2-6, and that's ball 4 to Harper. So the bases are loaded for Wilson Ramos, who batted .307 and 22 home runs. Now Steven Matz had a 9-8 season with a 3.40 ERA. And Mets are going to keep the infield back. They're going to allow the run. It's a 6-3. It's a ground ball to the shortstop, and that's going to be a 2. Our shortstop is a 2, and that's a ball that gets through the infield. And that's going to allow 1 run to score. RBI single for Wilson Ramos. And Worth scores. Bases are still loaded now. 2 runs are in for the Nats. They lead at 2-0. Bases are loaded, nobody out. Murphy's at third. Harper's at second. Ramos is at first, and it's Anthony Rendon. And feels back for the Mets. It's 5-6. 5-6 is a strikeout, a big strikeout for Steven Matz for the first out of the inning. Gets Rendon on a curve. And it's Michael Taylor, and feels back. It's a 2-7, and that's a fly ball left field. That's going to be deep enough for Murphy, and he comes in with the third run. RBI for Taylor, and that's 2 outs now. 3-0 Nats. And Danny Espinoza, runners on first and second. And it's going to be a 6-8. And that's a swing and a miss. He goes down on strikes for the third out. But the Nats pick up 3 runs here in the top of the first, and they lead at 3-0. We're going to go to the Mets. Mets have Jose Reyes leading off, and Granderson, and then Flores. Here's the pitch from Gio Gonzalez. It's a 6-8. Now, Gio was 11-11 with a 5.4 4.57 ERA. It's a 6-8, and that's going to be a split die, line drive, caught by the second baseman, Turner. Murphy's at first today. Turner's at second. Rendon is at third. Shortstop is Espinoza, Danny Espinoza. Curtis Granderson, say 211. That's ball 4. So Granderson manages a walk. Next is Wilmer Flores. Good power. Hit 16 home runs and 300 at bats, so a full season would have given him 32. 5-9, and that's going to be off Gonzalez. 5-9 is a swing and a miss, strike 3. 2 away now, and it's Neil Walker. And that's a 3-11. It's a ground ball right at the second baseman, Turner, who takes it himself for the force. So at the end of 1 inning, it's the Nats 3, the Mets nothing, and the Nats coming to bat. It's going to be Gio Gonzalez leading it off against Steven Matz. It's a 5-3 off Matz's card as a fly ball right field X. Our right fielder today is Granderson, and that's a 2. Granderson is a 3, and that's going to drop in there for a double for Gio Gonzalez. Granderson just misplayed that ball, didn't get an error, didn't really get to it, but he must have gotten a poor jump on that ball. It looked catchable, but it kind of dropped in there. Having trouble picking up these cards now. There we go. All right. Trey Turner now. 2-8. And that's a line drive base hit single. Stopping at third is going to be Gio Gonzalez with nobody out. Turner is 2 for 2 now. First and third. Turner is always a threat to steal. And Matz throws over. Throws over again, and Turner's in there. Throws over again. And, oh, almost gets him. And here's the pitch, and there goes Turner, and he's safe at second. And it's a strike called on Worth. So Turner is second and third now. Turner steals his second base of the game. And that's a 1-10. And that's a hard hit ground ball right at the shortstop. And he's going to go, Asdrubal goes to first. He looks Gonzalez back to third, 1 away, and Murphy the batter. 3-0. Runners on second and third here. 3-0 Nats. Runners on second and third in the top of the second. So Matz is having issues. It's going to be 4-10. That's a fly ball center field X. And that's a 3. Our center fielder is Lagares, a 2. And that ball is going to go off of Lagares' glove, and that drops in there, and 2 runs are going to score. And on at second is Murphy on an E8. That was the worst number we could have rolled. So Murph is on second on an E8, and both runners score. So it's 5-0. 5-0 Nats now, and it's going to be Harper with 1 out. Not a good game for the Mets today. 4-12, and that's a ground ball back to the pitcher. And Matz is going to look Murph back and gets Harper. 1-3, 2 outs now. It's Wilson Ramos. Ramos had an infield hit and drove in a run in the first inning. And that's a 3-6. A 3-6 is going to be a split die. 17. Line drive base hit. Around to score is Murphy. So 2 outs, and that's a 6-0 lead now. Next is going to be Anthony Rendon against Matz. Say 4-6. A 4-6 is the line drive base hit. Ramos is going to stop at second. So far, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 hits, and that's going to be all for Matz. We're going to see who we're going to see for the Mets to come in. We're going to see Eric Goodell. Eric Goodell is going to come in with 2 outs here in the top of the second inning. Okay, so Eric Goodell comes in to pitch for Matz. Matz is out. And it's 6-0 Nats here in the top of the second. It's going to be Taylor against Goodell. Say 5-7, and that's a walk. Bases are loaded now. Danny Espinosa's next. Say 5-5. A 5-5 is a swing and a miss. Goes down on strikes for the 3rd out. But the Nats pick up 3 big runs, and they lead it going to the bottom of the second by a score of 6-0. It's going to be Cabrera leading it off for the Mets. Mets down by 6. Say 3-10. Line drive base hit single for Asdrubal Cabrera. I'll move this over a little bit. I'm going to have to get plug in my phone. There we go. So Cabrera's on at first, leads off with a single. It's going to be Juan Lagares next. Juan Lagares had injury issues throughout 2016. It's going to be a 5-9. A 5-9 is a strikeout. Lagares goes down on strikes. Second strikeout for Lagares, for Gio Gonzalez in this game. Travis d'Arnaud, who had a 247 with 4 home runs. It's a 6-7. That's going to be a split die. 6-7 split die, and that's going to be a double. Stopping at third is going to be Cabrera. Second and third now. And next is Alejandro De Aza. And that's a 5-6. A 5-6 is a swing and a miss. Strike 3. And the pitcher, Matz, and we're going to see a pinch hitter for Matz. Down 6-0, can't waste this opportunity to score a couple of runs. So it's going to be Nimmo. Brandon Nimmo is going to bat for, not Matz, I'm sorry, it was Goodell who's in the game now. Goodell. So Goodell is getting pulled. It's going to be Brandon Nimmo. Okay. Brandon Nimmo is going to bat for Dell in the bottom of the second. We're still only the bottom of the second. It's hard to believe we've been playing for 15 minutes. At this pace, this game's going to take us 2 hours. So Nimmo here with runners on second and third, 2 outs in the bottom of the second. The Mets down 6-0. See if he can get a, need to roll on his second column, and we don't. It's a 4-10. 4-10 is a fly ball lifted to left. Worth is out there, and he squeezes it for out number 3. So the Mets leave 2 stranded in scoring position. Here in the bottom of the second, we go to the top of the third, 6-0 Nats. In the top of the third is going to be Gonzalez, the new pitcher for the Mets. They're going to get some. They're going to need some innings out of somebody. Yeah, it's going to be Hansel Robles. Hansel Robles. All right. Let's see. Here's the pitch to Gonzalez. Say 5-6. A 5-6 is going to be a split die line drive caught by the first baseman. Mets first baseman is Wilmer Flores. So 1 away now. Next is going to be Trey Turner. It's a pitch from Robles to Trey Turner, 4-11. And that's going to be ball 4. So Turner's on first. He already has 2 stolen bases. So Robles throws over. And there goes Turner. And he's safe. 3rd stolen base of the game for Turner. Jason Worth, 2-4. It's going to be a hard hit ground ball right at Asdrubal. He looks Turner back and throws out Worth for out number 2. Next is going to be Danny Murphy. Danny Murphy batted .347 in 2016. Say 2-5, a 2-5 fly ball center field. Lagares over, makes the catch. We'll go bottom of the third now. The top of the order for the Mets. Jose Reyes. Pitch from Gio Gonzalez. It's a 3-9. 3-9 is going to be a strikeout. And that's the 4th strikeout for Gonzalez. Out number 1. Next is Granderson. Granderson walked. It's a 4-7. It's a ground ball second baseman. Second baseman Turner is a 3, and that's a 5. That should be okay. And it is. 2 away. Next is Flores. Flores struck out in his first at bat. Wilmer batted .267. And that's a 6-5. A 6-5 is a swing and a miss. 5th strikeout. 3rd out of the inning. 3 up, 3 down here in the bottom of the 3rd. We go to top of the 4th. 6-0 Nats. Bryce Harper is going to lead it off against Eric Hansel Robles, the 3rd pitcher of the game for the Mets. Say 6-5, and that's a strikeout. Next is going to be Wilson Ramos, who's 2 for 2 and 2 RBIs. So 110, that's a ground ball right back to Robles. He takes it himself, out number 2. Say 1-3, that's ball 4 to Rendon. Rendon was 1 for 2. Now he walks with 2 outs, and it's Taylor. Michael Taylor is hit a sacrifice fly and walked. So that's a 4. That's off of Robles' car, a 4-8, and that's a strikeout. So Robles gets his 2nd strikeout, and that's the 3rd out of the inning. The Nats lead 1 here in top of the 4th. We go to the bottom of the 4th, 6-0 Nats. It's going to be Walker leading off. Neil Walker. That's a 6-10 off of Gio's card. A 6-10 We have fly ball center field X. Center fielder is a 2. Our 12 should be okay, and it is. Nice catch by the center fielder Taylor on a ball driven by Walker and Cabrera. 2-5, and that's a line drive base hit for Cabrera. He's 2 for 2. So Cabrera's on at first, and it's Juan Lagares who batted .239 with 3 home runs and 142 at bats. And that's a 6-5, and that's a strikeout. Strikeout number 6 for Gio Gonzalez. Next up is Travis d'Arnaud, who doubled his first at bat in the second inning. It's a 5-9. A 5-9 is a strikeout. Swing and a miss. He goes down swinging for the third out, and Gio Gonzalez' 7th strikeout of the game. We go to the top of the 5th now, 6-0, Matz. Here is Danny Espinoza against Hansel Robles. That's a 3-12. It's a fly ball center field. Lagares over. Makes the catch. Next is going to be Gio Gonzalez. Gio Gonzalez is 1 for 2. He doubled and lined out. 5-9. It's a strikeout. Third strikeout for Robles, out number 2. And next is Michael Turner, the top of the order. I'm sorry, Trey Turner, the top of the order. Here's the pitch, 2-5. And that's swung on and lifted to deep center field. Back goes the center fielder, Lagares, to the track, to the wall, looks up, and that's gone. Trey Turner is 3 for 3 now, 2 singles and a home run. He's got 3 stolen bases, been on base all 4 times. And with 2 outs, Turner gets a hold of one, and it's Worth now. Jason Worth, left fielder for Washington. 4-7. It's a ground ball, second base. 17. We are 3 at second base. 17 is going to be roll again. 13 is an out for out number 3 in the end of the inning. And that's probably going to be all for Hansel Robles, since he's due up. And another run. It's going to be 7-0 now, going to the bottom of the 5th. 7-0 Nats. They pick up a run on the Trey Turner home run. It's going to be a pinch hitter now. It's going to be Kelly Johnson. Kelly Johnson is going to pinch hit for Hansel Robles. And then we're going to get a new pitcher. It's going to be Antonio Bastardo. In the top of the 6th inning. It's going to be B. Johnson. Johnson for Robles. Bottom of the 5th. Kelly Johnson. Here's the pitch to Johnson from Gio Gonzalez. Say 2-8. 2-8 is a pop-up to the right side, and that's going to be Turner calling for it. 1 away. Jose Reyes now, the leadoff batter for the Mets. He's 0 for 2. He lined out and struck out so far in this game. Say 2-8, and that's going to be a split die, and that's lifted to deep center field, and back goes Taylor on his horse to the track. He looks up, and that ball is out of here. Jose Reyes gets a hold of one, and I bet Gonzalez wants that pitch back. It's going to be Curtis Granderson. The score is 7-1 now. Say 3-8. 3-8 is a fly ball deep right field. Back goes the right fielder Harper and makes a nice running catch. 2 out now. Wilmer Flores. Flores is 0 for 2. He struck out twice against Gio Gonzalez. Trying to tidy this up a bit. 1-6, and that's lined base hit for Flores. He's 1 for 3. So with 2 outs, Flores on at first. Neil Walker, the batter. And that's a 2-12, and that's grounded right at the second baseman, Turner, who steps on the bag for the force. And the 3rd out, the Mets lead 1. They score 1 here in the bottom of the 5th. 7-1 now. We go to the top of the 6th inning. It's going to be Antonio Bastardo, the lefty. It's going to be facing Murphy, Harper, and Ramos. Here is Murphy, and that's a 6-7, 6-7. It's going to be a split die, and that's lined into the gap, and that's going to go to the wall. Murphy's around first, goes into second standing. Leadoff double for Daniel Murphy. Murphy is 2 for 4 now. Bryce Harper, 2-8, and that's a hard hit ground ball. As Drubel looks Murphy back and throws out Harper, gets him by a step. Wilson Ramos. Ramos is 2 for 3 with 2 RBIs. That's a 110. A 110 is a ground ball right back at Bastardo. Looks back Murphy and throws out Harper. That's the second time that Harper has bounced back to the pitcher. 2 outs now, and it's Rendon. It's a 5-4. A 5-4 is a catcher's card. And that's a 9. Our catcher's a 3. And that's a pass ball. It's going to allow Murphy to go to 3rd. Rendon is still up. Here's the pitch to Rendon. Say 1-6. A 1-6 is a line drive base hit. RBI single for Rendon. Scoring is Murphy. 8-1 now. Next up is going to be Michael Taylor, who's 0 for 1. Here's the pitch from Bastardo. It's a 5-5. And that ball is swung on and hit deep to center field. Back goes the center fielder Lagares to the track. He looks up, and that's a 2-run shot for Michael Taylor off of Antonio Bastardo. That's 2 RBIs. And I bet you Bastardo wishes he had that pitch back. So Bastardo's given up 3 runs in this inning so far. There's 2 outs, and it's Espinoza up next. Danny Espinoza batted .209. They're going to pitch to him. That's a 5-3, and that's ball 4. So this is the top of the 6th inning. Gio Gonzalez, the pitcher. They're going to let Bastardo face the pitcher. And that's a 5-2, and that's a fly ball lifted to left field, shallow left field. In comes the left fielder, De Aza, makes the catch for the 3rd out, but the damage has been done. And the Nats pick up 3 more runs here and now lead it 10-1. In the bottom of the 6th, we're going to have Cabrera, Lagares, and d'Arnaud for the Mets. Here's the pitch to Cabrera. And that's a 6-3 off of Gio's card. A 6-3 is going to be a ground ball first base. First baseman is a 4, and that's a 1. And that's going to be a base hit for Cabrera. He's 3 for 3 on the day. So Cabrera's on at first. It's 10-1 here in the bottom of the 6th. So everybody's going station to station. It's 3-10. 3-10 is a ground ball, hard hit right at Espinosa. He flips to second base, back to first. 6-4-3, double play, 2 outs. Travis d'Arnaud. And that's a 4-9. And that's going to be a ground ball hit to the shortstop, who's a 2. And that's going to be a 6. Ball that Espinosa gets to and throws out d'Arnaud for the 3rd out. We go to the top of the 7th now, 10-1. 10-1 Nats. It's going to be the top of the order. Now, Trey Turner's having a heck of a day. He's 3 for 3 with 2 singles, a home run, and 3 stolen bases. He's going to be facing... We're going to pull out Bastardo. We're going to bring in Addison Reed for an inning. See if we can stop the bleeding. Okay, here's Trey Turner. It's a 1-11. A 1-11 is a ground ball right at Asdrubal Cabrera, who releases it quickly and gets Turner by half a step. Man, he can motor down that line. It's Jason Worth now. 2-8, and that's a swing and a miss. Goes down on strikes. And Daniel Murphy, 3-5, and that's a line drive base hit to right field for Daniel Murphy. That's Murphy's 3rd hit of the day. And say 3-9. Harper, a 3-9 is a swing and a miss, strike 3. 2nd strikeout in the inning for Reed. And that's all she wrote for 6.5 innings of play. It's 10-1 Nats. De Aza is going to be up against Gio Gonzalez. It's a 2-6, and that's lined base hit for De Aza. Pitcher's up now. The pitcher's up, and we are going to see Loney's going to bat. Loney for Reed. Bottom of the 7th. James Loney, who was resting today for the Mets. He's their everyday first baseman. And De Aza singles to lead off the bottom of the 7th. James Loney now for the pitcher Reed. It's a 4-8. That's going to be off Gonzalez. A 4-8 is a split die. That's lined base hit. And over to 3rd is going to go De Aza. Pinch hit single for James Loney. 1st and 3rd now. And it's Reyes, the top of the order for the Nets. It's a 10-1 game here in the bottom of the 7th. Here's the pitch from Gio to Reyes, a 6-6, and that's a swing and a miss. Gio got him on the curve. One away. Curtis Granderson. Get a little bit more space to roll. It's a 5-6 now, and that's strike 3. 2 away, and that's Gio's 7, 8, 9, and 10th strikeouts of the game. Next is Flores. Flores is 1 for 3. He struck out twice and singled. And that's a 3-10. 3-10 has popped up to the left side. And that's Rendon calling for it. Makes the catch. The Mets leave 2 here. And we go to the top of the 8th. New pitcher is going to be Jerry. No. Who else we got here? Who else do we have for the Mets that is hanging around? Let's take a quick peek at this. Goodell pitched in this one. Lugo. Looks like Lugo's going to come in. He may still be on the team. I'm not sure if he's on the roster at this point. He pitched 3 games ago, so he's probably still on the roster. I try to keep it with guys that are on the roster, but there's so many roster moves back and forth, so I just kind of follow I go to the next closest game and I try to figure out, okay, who is still on the team. So Lugo is going to come in, and he is going to be, I'm running out of colors here. Orange, I haven't used orange. So Lugo is going to be orange. Try to get him to go the last two innings, the 8th and the 9th, hopefully, without getting into too much trouble. He's going to face Ramos leading off. So Seth Lugo comes in. Here's the pitch to Ramos. It's a 4-5. A 4-5 is going to be a ground ball, shortstop X. And a 15, our shortstop is a 2. And that's a ball that Cabrera feels and throws out Ramos. 1 away. Next is Rendon. It's a 4-7 off Lugo. That's a fly ball lifted to center. Lagares there. 2 away. Next is Michael Taylor. Taylor hit a home run. He's 1 for 2. Driven in 3 so far. 2-run homer and a sacrifice fly. And that's a 3-9, and that's a swing and a miss, strike 3. So 3 up and 3 down for the Nats here in the top of the 8th. We go to the bottom of the 8th. It's going to be Walker, Cabrera, and Lagares. Here's the pitch from Gonzalez. It's a 1-4. And that ball is lifted to deep center field. Back goes the center fielder Taylor to the track. He looks up, and that's out of here. So home run for Neil Walker. Gets a hold of one. And it's going to be Asdrubal Cabrera, who's 3 for 3 now. That's a 3-11. And that's a line drive base hit for Cabrera. His 4th hit of the game. He's 4 for 4. And it's a 5-10 off Gio's card. That's a hard hit ground ball right at the shortstop. Shortstop is a 2, and that's a 3. And that's going to be a ground ball that Espinoza gets to, makes a throw, and gets Lagares by half a step. But Cabrera moves up. 1 out now. And Travis d'Arnaud, the batter. That's 6-6. That's going to be a swing and a miss. 2 out. Next is Deaza, Alejandro Deaza. And that's 2-6. And that's line base hit for Deaza. And the Mets are going to try to score. No, the Mets are going to hold up Cabrera. So it's 1st and 3rd now with 2 outs. And the pitcher is due up. And it's going to be Brandon Nimmo. Oh no, Nimmo batted. Johnson batted. Loney batted. Let's see who's on the team to bat. Johnson. Flores. Who's not playing today is the question. Rivera's on the team, so Rene Rivera, he's going to come in for Lugo. Bottom of the 8th. Mets so far have scored 1. It's 10-2, and they have first and third. And it's going to be Rene Rivera, the backup catcher for the Mets, who's going to come in there. Now Rivera batted .222 with 6 home runs in 185 at bats. So a full season would have seen him with 18 home runs. There's Rene Rivera from Gio Gonzalez. And that's a 6-5. 6-5 is a swing and a miss, strike 3. So pinch hitting, Rene Rivera strikes out for the third out. The Mets leave 2 but score 1 on the home run. And after 8, it's 10-2 Nats. So it's going to be Jerry Blevins in the top of the 9th inning for the Mets. Blevins is going to be the Mets' 7th pitcher. 7th pitcher of the day. He's going to be in red. He's going to face Espinosa, Gonzalez, and Turner. Here's the pitch to Danny Espinosa. It's a 3-10, and that's a fly ball lifted to center. Center fielder Ligares is there. For the out. It's going to be Gio Gonzalez. We're probably going to see a pinch hitter. It's going to be Stephen Drew coming in for Gonzalez. And then we're going to see Papelbon. Here's the pitch. It's a 5-7 off Blevins. 5-7. That's a strikeout. So Blevins strikes out the pinch hitter, Stephen Drew. And next is Trey Turner, who's 3 for 4 with 2 singles and a home run today. Here's the pitch from Blevins. Say 4-8. A 4-8 is ball 4. So Turner walks with 2 outs in the top of the 9th. It's a 10-2 lead for the Nats. 5-8, and that is going to be a line drive base hit for Worth. Turner stops at second with a 10-2 lead. Not going to rub it in. And it's going to be Daniel Murphy now. And that's a 6-12, and that's going to be a ground ball right to the first baseman, Flores. And that's 3 unassisted for the third out. The Nats leave 2, and it's 10-2 going into the bottom of the 9th. Last licks for the Mets. And in the bottom of the 9th, it's going to be Papelbon. He's going to pitch to the top of the order. Jonathan Papelbon was 2-4 with a 4.37 ERA and 19 saves. So it's going to be the top of the order for the Mets. Leading off is going to be Jose Reyes, who's back as a Met after stints with Toronto and Colorado. and it's a 1-7, and that's a hard hit ground ball, right? The shortstop Espinoza gets rid of it quickly, and gets Reyes by a half a step. Reyes at 32 in 2016 can still motor down that line. Granderson is 0 for 3. The pitch from Papelbon, it's a 1-8, and that's a swing and a miss. Goes down on strikes. 2 away. And it's Wilmer Flores. He's 1 for 4. Pitch from Papelbon, and it's a 6-8, and that's a call, third strike. Game over. Flores doesn't like it. But that was a tough one for the Mets. They lost it by a score of 10-2. Gave up 3 runs in the first inning, 3 runs in the second inning. They were down 6-0. Mets made a couple of errors in those 2 innings. Big error by the center fielder Ligares, and another one by the left fielder De Aza, that allowed the innings to continue. So that's it for game number 88. The Mets fall to 49. I'm sorry. The Mets fall to 49-39, 10 games over 500. And the loss is going to go to Steven Matz. Steven Matz was pulled after only an inning and 2/3. And the Mets used 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 pitchers in this game. Hey, man. Yeah, that's sad, Nat. Nat King, the Mets lose. I'm not a happy camper. But I'm back to my 2016 replay using Stratomatic. I love Stratomatic. Love all the plays, the results off of the cards. I love that about Stratomatic. I also love that I never know what's going to happen. It's always like, oh, that's an out. Oh, no, it's a hit. Or, oh, that's a hit. Oh, no, it's an out. You know, it's always that extra layer of the element of the unknown, because every single card is so different. And then sometimes you look off the pitcher's card. Sometimes you look off the batter's card. So there's so many permutations of results that make it, real exciting to play Strat. I really, really love Strat. And I'm back to doing it now. I was thinking of pulling out my split deck and using a split deck. That would be fun, rather than so many die rolls, because I do enjoy the fast action cards. So anyway, that's the fun we're having here. Mets lose it by a score of 10-2. They're pretty much obliterated. They hit a couple of home runs. Reyes hit one, and Walker hit another. So those will go on those stats. Cespedes didn't play. Granderson was 0 for 4 again. He's 1 for his last 15, slumping big time. Cabrera had a great day. He went 4 for 4. One of my favorite players. Always seems to be having fun on the field. Asdrubal Cabrera, still with the Mets. Walker went 1 for 4 with a home run and RBI. And Granderson went 0 for 4. Already got him down. And that's about it. So thanks for stopping by. Mets lose game 88. It's time to go grab a beer. It's about noon now over here. And yeah. For many years I've been into miniatures, military miniatures, and any kind of miniatures really. And I got hooked on painting the miniatures, and that's where I got my handle combat painter, because I painted military miniatures. So if you look through my videos, you'll find some videos on miniatures, like some game tutorials, on rule tutorials, how to play World War II games with miniatures. You'll also see how to not paint miniatures, but how to base miniatures and things like that. And also a couple on how to paint miniatures. So that's how I get my my tag Combat Painter, and I use that for a lot. All my emails are Combat Painter, and all my I'm Combat Painter on eBay, and I'm Combat Painter almost everywhere because that's something that nobody else has. There's one other group that came out recently with Combat Painter, but they had to splice it and hyphenate it. So they're not the original Combat Painter. There's only one of those, and here he is. So yeah, that's it, man. So I'm gonna go now, grab a beer. My lunch is almost ready. I put it in the oven right before this game. It has to be in the oven for about an hour. So I'm gonna go pull it now. It's been in there for 50 minutes. This has gone on for 50 minutes. Now these games, my strat games, are about 20 minutes longer than my APA games, generally speaking. But it's also because I'm doing APA for the early 70s, mid 70s, where there was no pitching changes. Whereas I'm doing updated modern version using Strat, and there's a lot of pitching changes. I had 4 pinch hitters, 7 pitching changes, so that slows the game down big time. It's about 30 seconds for every change that you do. You got to get your mind in order. Okay, this guy's pitching now, this guy's batting now. I got to write everything in. Who's the next pitcher going to be? Let me look and see, make sure he's on the roster. I'm trying to play the original lineups, keep it as realistic as possible, as close to the actual event as possible. So anyway, that's my story with what goes on with the modern versus the older. So I'd like to do a strat with like a 69 or a 73, something where it'll go a lot faster because there won't be that many pitching changes. I can let a lot of guys go, like I wouldn't let, even though Gio was winning 10-2, I wouldn't let him go the complete game because he had already given up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 hits in 8 innings. So I said, nah, enough is enough. He did have 11 strikeouts, which was crazy. Actually, no. He had 12 strikeouts in the game, so he really had a pretty good game, but he walked 1. Yeah, he walked 1. So anyway, he faced a lot of batters. Faced 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Well, 11 and 24, which would be 35. So that's way over what he should have been facing. So I took him out, put in Papelbon to finish it off. He did. Got the Mets to go down in order in the bottom of the 9th inning in a 10-2 game. So anyway, my point is that I have to make a lot of pitching changes. I want to summarize, right? There's a lot of pitching changes in this modern game, so it's going to take longer with Strat. I bet you if I played the 73 season for the Mets, it would go by a lot faster. But I don't know. I'm not doing that right now. I don't know what I'm going to do. And that's it. That's the story for now. I'm going to go watch the Met game is on. They start at 12:30. I believe it's DeGrom pitching today. Or Steven Matz. Yeah, you too, man. Thanks for stopping by. I think it's Steven Matz today and DeGrom tomorrow on Sunday. And then I'm going to watch the Yankees after that. So I'm going to have a full day of baseball, and then I'll come back to rolling some more dice. And I may play a game online as well. I have some leagues going on online. Hey, guys, what's up there? We're finishing up here. It's a 10-2 loss for the Mets. Steven Matz gets the loss. A couple of big errors in the first 2 innings, and the Nats score 6 in those innings. Trey Turner goes 3 for 4 with a home run. Hey, Mike. Trey Turner goes 3 for 4. He hits a home run and steals 3 bases. And the other big, it was Gio Gonzalez, man. He went 8 innings, gave up 11 hits, but struck out 12. So it's a 10-2 loss for the Mets. And the Mets go into a new series now. I'm going to take a quick peek at who the Mets are going to be facing next. 9-3. I'm going to take a look at that, like a preview of the next series. I'm using Baseball Almanac. And the next series is going to be 89, I believe. Game 89 against the Phillies. That's going to be interesting. It's going to be the 3 games against the Phillies. 89-90 at Philadelphia. So we're going to go from Flushing to Philadelphia, about 3 hours away. I'm going to take the Jersey Turnpike to get there. And then we're going to go to Chicago, and then we're going to go to Miami. So we're on a series of traveling games. We're going to Philly, Chicago, and the Marlins, and then we'll be back against St. Louis and the Rockies. So that's going to be fun. So that's it for now, guys. I'm going to go grab a beer and go to watch the Mets on TV, get my lunch out of the oven before it burns. Take care, guys. I'll see you soon later on, and keep rolling. So long from Combat Painter's Tabletop Baseball channel. Take care now.